Look, I mean, I get to talk to a lot of people, Patrick, and especially there is a group of people that I talk to. These are generally people from India and China. They're here on an H-1B. They have a tech job. They're doing amazing salaries and maybe even, calling up some friends and family to gather some more money. And there are families that I personally know of who are waiting to master that 800K to sort of like invest and get, because being here and being successful, your family being here and being on a non-immigrant visa without an apparent way to green card is, it's really a big source of anxiety. Suppose that people who are watching us, you're talking to a tech professional who's working at Silicon Valley, whom and maybe his wife or vice versa, we're really looking forward to, getting on EB5
A
and
lot of
saved up
these
some
people,
money.
Aladdin, they have another path. So
Talk
they
about
have,
that.
maybe were sponsored for an EB2 category, employment based category 2, and they have a priority date of 2017. They could use that same priority date and go for the talent visa, the EB1A. So if you're a technologist, say you're making 200, 300, 400K, and you meet certain criteria, you've won awards, your team's been featured in the press, you've been featured in the press, you've written scholarly articles, you could stand a good shot of obtaining a green card for you and your family at no investment amount, besides the government fees, professional fees. So, before you go for the EB5, if you have already started the green card process and the priority date's current, if you switch over to EB1A, I think it's worth a shot, at least before you ask friends and family to lend money to you to invest in a fund that, I don't know, 95% chance you get your money back. What are the 5% you don't get your money back?
And that's not even your money.
Yeah, that
In
wasn't
some
your money to
cases.
lend
Yeah.
to invest. So it's gotten much better. The level of professional and accountability in EB5 has gotten much better, but these are at risk projects. They're going into a single asset. So it's not like investing in the S&P 500, buying an ETF. It goes into all these stocks or buying government debt. You're investing in one real estate project, and you can have a lot of contingencies and there could be assets, but it's effectively one asset that you're investing in. So what I like to see, EB5 investors, that they have a net worth generally above 3 mil, and they're allocating 800K into one vehicle. And if it doesn't work out, they can live with that. But going to friends and family for the 800K, I don't know.
This is a
That's tough.
reality, Patrick. I
Yeah.
mean, you know that, and I know that, and it is a reality. And there are those who are watching us as we speak. Now, I'd say, look for those alternative ways. And one thing that I really like about the US is that, this is the country of Hollywood. This is the country of American dream. This is the country where anything and everything is possible, where you can be a better version of yourself. And who is to say that you cannot work on yourself and qualify for EB1A, that you cannot be a better version
Things
of yourself?
happen faster.
Today, for example, you may not have those publications, you may not have those articles, written about you, you may not have those achievements or original contributions, or maybe even that, critical role within your organization. But hey, I have seen people who have taken this very, very seriously and said, hey, in order for me to qualify for this program, I got to be a better version of myself. I need to invest in my skills, my personal brand, and have it a go at it, grind it out, and I'm going to qualify myself. And there were those who were able to qualify for this particular visa. And that in itself is a personal and a professional journey where you are becoming a better version of yourself. Once you get the visa, once you get the green card, you're not stopping there. I mean, look where you were and what you've become, and now the future looks even brighter. So I would definitely encourage anyone, who's got a job and who's got some good things going on, maybe one or two criteria, but you're probably thinking to yourself, you know what, I don't qualify right now. And yes, and we would never advise people to do things just for the visa, but if there's an opportunity to become a better version of yourself just to be able to stay in that country, that is a very noble journey, and we would encourage everyone to take that journey and go out there and get that green card.
Yeah, and a lot of our clients are just documenting what they're already really good at, and maybe they've had a more low profile, and they're just putting that out in the public for the first time, and it can definitely create some anxiety, and It takes a little work to get past that, putting yourself out there. You know, with us doing those videos, you know, there's going to be people hating on us. And, you know, that's part when you put yourself out there, you open yourself out to feedback, which I think is a net positive, but that can be definitely a mental shield that some clients have trouble with. One thing, Aladdin, I wanted to talk about though, Trump's tax plan for green card holders and American citizens is changing. Really? He made the pledge to Americans living abroad, and there's over 5 million of them, that he was going to move away from a citizenship-based tax policy to a residency-based tax policy.
Yes, that's very interesting.
That makes the gold card a lot more appealing in the ultimate plan B. I had a prospect from Pakistan, 15 domestic servants, income from Pakistan, from other companies. He doesn't want to open up his books and everything to U.S. fiscal authorities. Even though he wants to spend time in the U.S., he wants to give his kids the U.S. education, he'd be eligible for EB-1A, EB-5, whatever, you know, of those categories. But he doesn't want to do it. We can't get some of the best talent away from Pakistan because he doesn't want to pay U.S. taxes and open himself up, not even just paying U.S. taxes. It's all the compliance and FACTA and all that. So that's a big mess that Trump has pledged. I believe this is back October 2024, right before the election. Hey, we're going to fix this. And I think that's going to really open it up where you're going to have a lot of really wealthy families, generational wealth. And, you know, if the gold card is portable and they can give it, you know, family member to family member, then get citizenship, a lot of this is going to open up. But I would say the tax changes that we expect from Trump in 2025 affecting green card holders, where you're living in the U.S. or living abroad, U.S. citizens, I think that's going to really open it up for the gold card as well as these other categories because, you know, it's an amazing experience to live abroad, and why not live some time in the U.S.?
You sound very excited by the gold card.
Definitely. No, I think it has, you know, really big potential. Also, he alluded to the source of funds changing for the EB-5 program as we know it. Right now, I mean, you use $800K of funds that you got when you sold a house. You have to prove, you know, how you invested in that house, or it's a pain keeping all the money going into the same account from different sources. It can be 2,000 plus pages to show source of funds for EB-5, which when asked if Russian oligarchs could go through the gold card program, he said, yeah, well, effectively there's nice I've met some of these Russian oligarchs. There's nice ones. What did you say along those lines?
Yeah, he was like, we're going to bring best global citizens. These are good people. Good people are going to come and they got a lot of money. But they're, no, I mean,
so you have Indians,
really interesting.
So a lot of markets, the source of funds being changed where, all right, no terrorists, no drug dealers.
Okay.
How you prove that? That's, you know, we'll maybe Elon Musk will allocate some of the guys from Doge, some of these quants to like really vet these guys, but getting a better program to vet them, the individuals that are coming over, but not making it so onerous for those involved to prove out the source of funds. And, you know, I think that change of tax residency, him changing Trump, changing the tax residency, moving away from citizenship or permanent residency based tax to, you know, where you're currently located.
That's a big thing if you can make that happen.
And then the source of funds. So yeah, why not 5 mil? Let's see how it's broken down though. I think it's going to be some mix of $1 million donation, 4 million in government bonds, maybe at not a great rate, like 1% or 0.5% over 10 years, or just some like not great financing deal that the U.S. government benefits. I think that's what's gonna play out.